Hi guys, Further Talks here, and today I wanted to talk about my day at the theater. I'm pretty sure it was May 2nd or May 3rd. Anyway, it was Saturday. It was yesterday. And I want to talk about it because your boy went to see Thunderbolts and Sinners. Okay? And as always, I'm going to talk about them in the order that I saw them, and then I'm going to bring everything together to sort of say if I had a good day at the theater or not. Of course, these things are very special to me because I travel damn near 100 miles to and fro to get to the theater and back to my house. It is very grueling travel. It is not cheap at all. So whenever I go to the theater, it is very meaningful to me. I don't just go for any old movie, any old property. I have to go there for a reason. And Sinners was the reason for this season. So let's talk about it. So first, your boy saw Thunderbolts. Now, the MCU has let everyone down. Pretty much everyone's talked about it. The quality has significantly gone down within the past 10 years or so. Ever since Endgame, everything's been pretty downhill, in my opinion. I don't think that there's been a film since Endgame, unless because it's been a lot of films, and I've liked some of them, but yeah, ever since Endgame, I don't think that I've significantly liked any MCU film, right? But I've seen a bunch of them in theaters. Anyway, Thunderbolts is about a ragtag group of kind of B-listers, anti-heroes, some were even villains at a certain point, who band together to stop Sentry, or the Void. Well, both Sentry and the Void. And to basically stop, what's her face? Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I cannot remember her character's name. It's something with a V, but it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld. So yeah, they're basically banding together to stop her. And not gonna be heavy spoilers. There are gonna be some spoilers, not gonna lie, because it is a part of the film. But yeah, Thunderbolts for me, very interesting film because it is one of the better ones in a while. All right. I haven't had a really good time watching an MCU film since Endgame. I'm gonna have to go back through my memory banks to see if I've enjoyed anything this much, but yeah, this is the best one in a while. Thunderbolts, I had no hope for this film. Honestly, watching at the trailers, there were a couple of scenes, a couple of moments, a couple action scenes here or there that looked pretty decent, but overall it just looked like it was just gonna be another basic meh kind of MCU kind of film, right? And it wasn't that, honestly. But yeah, it's a very interesting film because it spends a lot of time with the characters sort of building their bonds, and I like that. I like those scenes of them being together because it's just great actors and great actresses playing off of each other. But in the end, I don't think that it all came together, right? I think that the pacing is kind of off because the first half is basically just Yelena, going about her day, going about her life. She's all, she's lonely, she's all alone because she's lost her sister. She's not close to her mom or her dad anymore. She's just doing missions, killing people, and being bad, and then going home and drinking herself into a stupor or whatever. Then going about her life. She finally accepts this mission from Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Turns out to be a setup to basically cut off her loose ends from when she was doing bad stuff as well. As a character, Julia Louis, well, she's still doing bad stuff. But yeah, basically, yeah. Anyway, Julia basically tried to set her, which is Yelena, the US agent, Ghost, Taskmaster. Is that them? Pretty sure that's it. Yeah, just Yelena, Ghost, US agent, and Taskmaster. She sets them up, right? She sets them up to basically kill each other, and then she's gonna burn the building to burn the evidence because they've worked with her before, so they're basically considered loose ends. So she's got to cut them loose. She's trying to go clean. She's not trying to go clean, but she's just trying to avoid some jail time, right? And so yeah, so that's what she was doing, and things don't work out that way. Of course, they end up escaping. Taskmaster ends up dying. Thank God. No one freaking likes Taskmaster in the movies anyway. They escape, and they decide to work together to take down Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Sentry, who is this guy Bob, who they find was in the same bunker, who was supposed to be burnt up. Ended up there by mistake somehow. I don't know. She's just trying to be evil with the Sentry and stuff like that, and the Thunderbolts have to stop them. And they're joined. Oh yeah, they're joined by the Red Guardian as well. So yeah, a lot of a significant amount of great scenes. The actors play well off of each other, I think, in my opinion. Right? It's basically about them bonding for the first half. Not much action until they escape. And then the second half is just once the Sentry figures out that he's Sentry and starts to use his powers. He's this like Superman-esque character, but maybe even stronger than that, right? And he's this messed up guy who's had this dark past where he was abused by his dad, I'm pretty sure. And his parents got divorced and he went through some dark times. I'm pretty sure he has some sort of mental illness to some extent, because he keeps mentioning that he has these ups and then he has these downs where he's in this really dark place, and it makes him do bad stuff, right? And he takes meds for it and stuff like that. So yeah, but it just kind of didn't come together for me, honestly, because I don't know, it just felt unbalanced, right? Like the action that they had was good, sometimes even great, but it didn't really feel like, not the action, but just the overall package. It just didn't feel like enough, honestly. I like the banter between the characters. I really do like their bond and their interactions, and how they come to work together and to trust each other and stuff like that. You know, I like that part about it, but it just ended up giving me that same feeling that I got with other recent MCU films. It's just that it doesn't feel like enough, you know, like it's basically decent, but it's not enough. It's just nothing significant. I felt the same way watching the Marvels. I felt the same way watching Brave New Worlds, even more so watching Brave New World. That felt like nothing. And yeah, just like a bunch of the other films, it just felt such like inconsequential, and I'm not expecting world-ending, stakes every single time that the MCU decides to release a film. That's not what I'm talking about. But it just needs to feel meaningful. It needs to feel impactful. It needs to feel significant. And they just don't feel like that. They haven't felt like that. Most of them haven't felt like that since Endgame, right? And it just, I don't know. It just doesn't come together, because I saw what they were going for with the trauma and the pain, and like, it's just like every other section, every other time, every other moment in the film is just someone whining about, I'm such a bad person, I'm so sad, and I'm alone, and and I'm nothing, I'm a loser, I'm just a bad guy. It's just this sobby sort of like just down attitude that just like, okay, we get it, okay, you're a bad person, you don't want to be a bad person, but you did so many bad things that you just kind of feel like you have to continue being a bad person. We get it, right? But they keep saying that, and they really try to hit it home with Bob, because Bob has done some pretty bad stuff too, right? Like where he discovers his powers and stuff like that. He does some pretty bad stuff, right? And he's gone through a lot in his life, and so he's always got these ups and downs and stuff. They really try to hit it home with him, how to like deal with that. And I appreciate the message. I appreciate what they're trying to do, but I felt like the writing just wasn't there for it, at least not as much as it should have been. I felt like just the way how it was just the way how it was executed overall just didn't really come together. It just ended up sounding like a big old sob story, trying to sell pain, trying to sell, I don't know, just like trauma, just like, because like, yeah, we all do bad things and stuff like that, but we got to try to be better people. That's the point, right? But yeah, it just, just like what they were trying to do with that whole sob story, in my opinion, just doesn't come together to make for a good film, because it's just, I don't know, it just didn't come together. It just didn't feel big enough. It didn't feel significant enough, right? And that's basically how I felt about the Thunderbolts. It just wasn't enough. I laughed at a couple scenes. I enjoyed the characters talking to each other. The acting is great. The special effects, for the most part, is great. I appreciate what they were trying to say with the message. I, give them kudos for trying, but it just doesn't come together. The writing isn't there for them to do that. The execution, just overall pacing and stuff, just isn't there for them to do that. It just felt like a big old sob story, man. I just kind of got tired of Bob just, because the actor's good, and I get what they were trying to go for, but it just felt like a big old sob story with just not that much good writing to go around, not that much good execution of the plot to go around. It just didn't feel right. It just didn't come together, in my opinion. So just that's how I felt about the Thunderbolts. Just had some interesting parts, had some interesting scenes. It's better than the Marvels. It's better than a lot of what they've been doing recently, but it just still felt a lot like them in that it just didn't work out in the end. Some great elements, some good parts to it, some good action scenes, but it just doesn't come together to make anything significant or anything significantly enjoyable to me, in my opinion. So yeah, that's just how I felt about the Thunderbolt. The second and final movie that I saw yesterday was Sinners. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, because this could be just like Dune Part 2. I spent about over a half hour, about 40 minutes glazing Dune Part 2 when I reviewed it. And I don't want to spend it that much time doing here, because my batteries, well, not my battery, but I don't have that much space left in my phone, so I gotta hurry this up. Sinners by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan, is an amazing film. All right, Sinners is one of those films. I've only felt the way that I felt watching Sinners in the theaters. I've only felt that way in the theaters about two other films that I've seen. I felt it the first time when I watched Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is just, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man film of all time, bar none. The other ones are great, amazing even, but this one, Across the Spider-Verse, it just blew me away. It was complete 10 out of 10, just amazing film. I felt it the second time when I watched Dune Part 2. Seeing Dune Part 2 in the cinemas with other, that was one of the, just like that is the best cinematic experience of my entire life. I absolutely love Dune Part 2. I love damn near everything about the film, and it is a masterpiece, in my opinion. The best sci-fi film that I've ever seen in my entire life. One of the best sci-fi films in history of all time, in my opinion. All right, I love that film. It worked for me. It really, really worked for me. It was just such an amazing film, in my opinion. All right, so I felt it there, and I felt it yesterday when I watched Sinners. Sinners is, like I said, it's one of those films. It's one of those films where it will stand the test of time. All right, after we're all long gone, dead and buried, people will still be talking about Sinners. People will still be studying Sinners. People will still be watching Sinners. All right, it will still be around. There's gonna be a freaking 50th anniversary Blu-ray collection, something like that, with a steelbook, and like Michael and Ryan are gonna be in there what 80s or something like that, and like doing like uh what like special features commentary on the film, talking about all the Oscars that they won and stuff like that. All right, it's gonna be one of those films, okay? Because Sinners is, it's just, it is different. All right, so what's the film about? Okay, all right, Sinners follows Michael B. Jordan and his twin brother. I forgot their name, sorry, but yeah, it follows them as they try to they open a juke joint in their hometown, and it attracts the attention of vampires. Okay, I don't want to spoil the film. Okay, I don't want to spoil the film. Not any heavy spoilers, at least, because I want you to see this film. You have to watch this film. Okay. In a recent video, I told you to go watch Snow White. I meant that, but Snow White's not in theaters anymore, from what I can recall. Okay, but well, at least not in my country, right? But Sinners is still in theaters. It came out about 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. But yeah, you should go watch this film. So I don't want to spoil it, heavily spoil it for you. Please go watch this film. Sinners is an amazing film. All right, so basically that is all that you need to know, is that, you know, Michael B. Jordan and his twin brother, played by Michael B. Jordan, okay, they open a juke joint and it attracts vampires. That is all that you need to know. All right, it's about music, it's about the history of just black people in general, and just the struggles that they've had to go through with, you know, with slavery and racism and stuff like that. And it's very interesting what they do with the story. I don't want to spoil it, but okay, this isn't much of a spoiler because it's right at the beginning of the film. It's just that the way how they talk about the music is like, hey, it's like music throughout time. It's like it created, but it didn't create. It's like it brings people together and it heals people, but it also attracts. It attracts unwanted attention. It attracts people who want to take it from you, who want to be reminded. It's basically some like voodoo shit, right? It's like it attracts old spirits, right? Basically, and that's basically the vampires, because the vampires are immortal. You know, of course, as long as they stay out of the sun and don't get stabbed by wooden sticks and stuff and garlic and stuff like that, right? But yeah, Sinners is an amazing film. It is just a top to bottom masterpiece of a film. I can't believe I had this whole thing planned out in my head and it's completely gone because I'm just Michael B. Jordan in this film. He needs to get he needs to be nominated for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor and win both of them. All right, it is that damn good. Okay, he plays twins, but they're very different, and he plays them very different, and he does an amazing, just amazing, spotless job on them. It is amazing watching this man work in this film. Delroy Lindo, I love him and everything that he's in. He's amazing in this film. Okay, I think his name is Omar Willis or something like that. But just to point out real quick, because I don't know a lot of people in the cast by name, but I've definitely seen him before. Omar Willis, I think his name is. That's Cornbread. That's the big guy. I love seeing him have this opportunity. I love seeing him in this film because I remember him from 8 Mile, and I remember coming home every day from school watching him in CSI Miami. That is a really big part of my childhood right there. So seeing him in this, having such a big part to play, it damn near brought a tear to my eye seeing him here, because man, I'm like, yes, he's got one of those, man. Everyone in here has got one of those films that stands the test of time, one of those films that gets studied and talked about and just gushed over for the rest of time, just like A Clockwork Orange, just like, you know, just like in any like freaking Hitchcock, Hitchcock, Scorsese, Tarantino, they all have those films that stand the test of time. People talk about them to this day, young, old, doesn't matter who you are, what you're into. You just see it because it is required viewing as someone who was able to see films. It is just it is that important. It is that urgent. It is that big. Okay, this is just a top to down masterpiece. One of the best films that I've ever seen in my entire life. The entire cast is great. What they do with the music, the soundtrack, just the score and everything is great, right? um Sex scenes are kind of awkward. Okay, I don't know who brought their kids, because at least two sets of parents brought their kids to see Sinners. I don't know who told them this was a night out for the family, because I did see it in the evening time, but those sex scenes were awkward, bro. I didn't mind them, I did turn away my face a little bit because it did get a bit graphic and stuff like that, but that's because like kids were sitting next to me and stuff like that in the theater, and it was awkward at that time, but it was funny. But yeah, it's not a negative for the film, but it's just a thing that happened, right? But yeah, Sinners, you have to see it. Everything about it, the acting, the special effects, the music, the score, just the action in this film, the pacing of this film, the writing of this film, everything about it just screams masterpiece, just screams cinema, just screams just like greatness. It is one of the best films that I've ever seen in my entire life. If you get a chance, no, go just go see the film. All right. I'm not in a good financial position right now. Okay, and it's entirely my fault, but I made time to go see Sinners, so you should go see Sinners. Okay, go see Sinners right now. It is an amazing film. I'm sorry, I can't tell you that much about it because I just always end up at the same place. All right, it's a masterpiece. Michael B. Jordan is amazing. Ryan Coogler is amazing. Everything about this film is amazing. Everything worked out perfectly. It is just everything is tight. Absolutely no scene is wasted. Just like the metaphors and the story that they're telling, it just completely worked out in the end. It just all came together to make an amazing once in a lifetime experience. I can't imagine a better film coming out this year. All right, I've got a couple bangers that I think are coming out this year. Definitely with my guy Tom Cruise coming out with that Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, or whatever it is. Mission Impossible is coming out soon. Final Destination is coming out soon. Superman is still to come. Fantastic Four is still to come. Don't have much hope for Superman and Fantastic Four, but at least Final Destination and Mission Impossible should be good. So yeah, but yeah, those are films that I'm looking forward to. But I just can't imagine there being a better film being released this year. Fuck this year, man. Like this decade, man. It's just, I like this better than Dune Part 2, and I love Dune Part 2, but it just, I'm sorry, man. Just I can't give away too much. Sinners is an absolutely amazing film. It is an absolute masterpiece. All right, you're tired of hearing me say that, but it is what it is, man. You just have to watch this film. Just please watch this film. All right, it is just as good as everyone says it is. It is not just hype, okay? It is not just hype. Do not judge it by a trailer. Do not judge it by anyone else's opinion on it. Go watch this film for yourself. It is completely worth your time. It is an amazing, just breathtaking, just timeless, just timeless film. I love every single thing about this film. It is an amazing film. It is an absolute masterpiece. You have to go watch this film yourself. Sinners is an amazing film, one of the best films that I've ever seen in my entire life. So this is getting a bit too long, so I'm gonna go now. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. It was a great day at the theater. Great day for sure, man. Thunderbolts, was okay, decent. It's fine. Nothing that I want to see again, but it was fine. Sinners, one of the best films of all time. One of the best films that I've ever seen in my entire life, and one of the best films could be one of the best films of your life too, if you go see it, which you should go see it. Okay, just make the time, go and see it. Support this film, please. We need more unique ideas like this. We need more original films like this. Okay, people keep complaining about original films, about especially about original films flopping. All right, and listen, man, a lot of those films had bad trailers and just stuff leading up to it as well. All right, so it's not all on the audience. Okay, it's not all on the audience. Some of them suck, some of them were disappointing, some of them just had bad marketing. Okay, so it's not all our fault. Okay, but Sinners is an original film that you should go see. Well worth your time. Absolute masterpiece. Go watch it. Thank you for watching. This has been Fraser Talks. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.